Right, we continue to get reaction to Pick n Pay founder Raymond Ackerman's passing away last night. In a statement shared on social media, the retail giant has described him as a visionary entrepreneur, humanitarian and a great South African. We get reaction now from CEO of Consumer Goods Council of South Africa, Zinhle Tiyikwe. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. We learnt of a retail icon's passing. What is your immediate reaction to hearing the news?
Good morning, Paul, and your listeners. We are really saddened as an industry by Mr. Ackerman's passing, because he is and was really a humanitarian, a generous individual, and really caring. And we've seen this through how he did his business, and we've seen how his family holds themselves in terms of how they hold their values and how they treat their employees.
Speaking about family, I know that you have interacted with Gareth Ackerman, the son of Raymond Ackerman. When you talk about values and the interaction, what do you mean by it? What kind of experience?
The humbleness, you think if you meet an individual such as Gareth Ackerman from the Ackerman family, who set up what retail looks like today. And because his dad championed and the retailing environment where they treated customers as queens and kings, and that changed the trajectory of how retailing is today. So when you meet individuals like that, you will think that they might not be able to treat you as a normal human being, but the humanity that you see and the humbleness that Gareth treats us as a CGCSA, how he leads the CGCSA as a chairperson or as a co-chairperson of the CGCSA, shows that the interest and his values, how he was brought up as a child himself, and the values that they live by, and he continues to live by, learned from his father.
You speak about the customer is always queen. We also know that some of his other sayings, Raymond Ackerman, were doing good is good business, and poor people need low prices while rich people like low prices. I mean, what do you think is significant there when it comes to learning and really going in to provide for the consumer?
Yeah. I mean, that's the big learning or the change that we've seen. You see how competitors, as CGCSA, we deal with all multitude of competitors, all retailers, the big five retailers and the medium-sized retailers, our members, and the ability to manage and be in the same platform as competitors. It's important. How do we then lobby and advocate? And his legacy, Mr. Raymond Ackerman's legacy, is definitely to say, how do we get industry to lobby and work together for the betterment of the consumer? Because if we are in an environment where we have transparency in regulatory and policy and making sure that a government understands how this sector operates, is going to make sure that the consumer benefits at the end of the day. Because, our members are fighting on price, are fighting about how do they serve their customers better, and how, that is key. As any consumer, we've seen the inflation in South Africa, we see where our economy is currently, and we're all looking for that low price. And all competitors, all from a retailing perspective, are making sure that they're serving that. And that was his legacy. That is what he was fighting for the past 56 years.
Yeah. What do you think one can now learn in terms of the legacy that Raymond Ackerman leaves behind?
He leaves behind the humbleness to say, no matter how your life has been, be modest, be humble, treat everyone the same, and be a blessing, a leader. Show your leadership skills. Do not be arrogant. Just always come and make sure that you treat everyone, your employees, your communities, your family, your friends, as well as the communities where you're operating. Because, retailers are at the core of communities. Retailing is about serving and feeding the country, making sure that each time when you go to that store, you find those goods those products that you would like for your family, making sure that happens seamlessly. So each time and every time. So what he leaves behind is just to say, let's be reminded by the values that he stood for, he worked with ethical integrity, being humble and have a total integrity in terms of how you operate.
The retail sector is one of the largest sources of employment in South Africa. And every day, even as you and I speak, somebody's come up with a genius idea and wants to land a product on the shelf. For that entrepreneur, what sort of pearls of wisdom can they draw from a retail icon such as Raymond Ackerman?
You know, the life of an SMME or an entrepreneur in South Africa is a really difficult one. And the access to retail is really a big challenge that we have. But I think what is core is that understand your product, understand what is required. What are all these important things that you need to understand for you to get that product? Whether it's labeling, what is the recipe, the content of your product, and the track and trace of all the ingredients that you are putting in that product. Because from a compliance perspective, for a retailer to have that confidence to say this food is safe for me to sell it to my customers, that is what they want. So as an entrepreneur, be in the know your product, understand the importance of understanding every little part of your product, and be proud. And just go against the grill if you have to, because that's sometimes what we have to do. Be undeterred about what you want to do.
Very well. Thank you so much. Thanks for reacting there and weighing in. CEO of Consumer Goods Council of South Africa, Zinhle Tiyikwe, speaking there about retail icon Raymond Ackerman. We will